You know what's wild? That quirky thing you do, the one everyone laughs about, yeah, that might not be a personality trait. It might be your brain literally malfunctioning. And the scariest part? You probably have no idea. I'm about to show you 5 behaviors that seem totally normal, maybe even relatable, but are actually red flags waving so hard they're about to fly off the pole. And before you click away thinking, this doesn't apply to me, stick around, because statistically, at least one of these is happening in your brain right now. Let's start with number 10, the skin archaeologist. You're watching TV and suddenly realize you've been picking at that tiny bump on your arm for 20 minutes. It's bleeding now. This isn't just a bad habit, it's excoriation disorder, compulsive skin picking. Your brain is screaming a signal, fix something, now, and your hands obey. During the act, there's a strange relief, but afterward, shame, guilt, scars. This is often linked to anxiety, OCD, or trauma. Your brain creates a problem it can control, your skin, because the world feels too overwhelming. You're not weak. Your brain is trying to survive. Number 9, the mental time traveler. Lying in bed at 2 a.m., replaying an awkward conversation from 3 years ago, or scripting future conversations that will never happen, that's rumination. Your brain is stuck in a loop, trapped in the past or future, refusing to let you live in the present. Rumination is a core symptom of depression and anxiety. Your brain thinks if it just replays that moment one more time, it can solve it. But it never does. It just makes you feel worse. Studies show people who ruminate are far more likely to develop major depression. Your brain isn't being thoughtful, it's malfunctioning. Number 8, the emotional ghost. You tell someone exciting news, and they just stare and say, "Oh, cool." Or maybe you're that person. Your best friend is crying, and you feel nothing. This is emotional blunting, and it's terrifying. Your brain's emotional response system is broken, like a volume knob turned all the way down. It can happen with severe depression or PTSD. From the outside, you might seem chill, but inside you're screaming, wanting to feel anything. You start to feel like a robot watching life through a foggy window. This isn't resilience. It's a red flag that something is deeply wrong. Number 7, the disaster director. You send a text, no response for an hour. A normal brain thinks they're busy. Your brain produces a disaster movie where they hate you and you're going to die alone. This is catastrophic thinking. Your boss sounds slightly annoyed. You're convinced you're getting fired and will end up homeless. This isn't just worrying, it's your brain taking a tiny spark and turning it into a 5-alarm fire. It's a hallmark of generalized anxiety disorder, where your brain's threat detection system is broken, seeing danger everywhere. It's not preparing you for the worst, it's torturing you with fiction. Number 6, the approval addict. Someone gives you the slightest criticism, and it feels like a punch to the chest. A friend takes too long to text back, and your brain screams, "They hate me, I did something wrong." This is rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD, and it's extremely common in people with ADHD. It's like your brain has a faulty panic button that goes off at the tiniest hint of rejection. People with RSD often become extreme people pleasers, terrified of not being perfect. And the weirdest part? The rejection doesn't even have to be real. A distracted look can feel like a personal attack. It's a brain that feels emotional pain like physical pain, and it's excruciating. So what does this all mean? These aren't just funny labels for our quirks. They're windows into how our brains are wired, and sometimes how that wiring gets crossed. Recognizing these patterns isn't about diagnosing yourself, it's about understanding. It's about realizing that if you're struggling with one of these patterns, you aren't broken or dramatic or weak, Your brain is just sending a signal, a very loud, very persistent signal that it needs help. And the first, most powerful step you can take is to simply listen. All right, let's break down 5 behaviors that look normal on the surface, but are actually your brain screaming for help. Number 5, the ritual prisoner. You have to check the lock on your door exactly 7 times before you leave. Lose count, you start over. Or maybe you arrange the items on your desk in perfect symmetry every single morning. If something's slightly off, you feel this overwhelming dread. We call this being organized. But for some, these aren't preferences. They're urgent, screaming demands from the brain. This is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And it's not about being neat. It's the feeling that something catastrophic will happen if you don't perform a specific action. The ritual is the brain's desperate attempt to shut down terror. It's an invisible electric fence. Cross it, and your internal alarm system goes haywire. Someone with OCD might wash their hands until they're raw, not because they're dirty, but to wash away a bad thought. They might check the stove dozens of times, convinced one missed check means the house burns down. The ritual provides relief, but it never lasts. The anxiety comes roaring back, demanding the ritual be done again, maybe even bigger next time. It's a cruel cycle that can eat up hours of someone's day. Number 4 is the joy thief. You bite into your absolute favorite food, the one you used to crave, and it tastes like cardboard. Your best friend gets engaged. You know you should be excited. Instead, you feel nothing. This is anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. It's one of the most devastating symptoms of depression. Your brain has a joy circuit. When something good happens, it lights up with dopamine and you feel good. But with anhedonia, that circuit is broken. You go to a party, everyone's laughing. You know you should be having fun, but you feel like you're watching your own life through a window, disconnected, numb. There's social anhedonia, where being with people feels like a chore. And there's physical anhedonia, when food, music, and touch just feel flat. If life's pleasures have packed their bags and left, it's not you being ungrateful. It's a sign that something deeper is going on. Number 3, the reassurance junkie. You send a text, no immediate reply. Your brain instantly screams, "They're mad, I said something wrong." So you ask, "Are you mad at me?" They say no. For a second, relief. Then the doubt creeps back. What if they're just saying that? I should ask again, just to be sure. This is excessive reassurance seeking, and it's a trap. This isn't about getting new information. The person asking already knows the answer. It's about killing that awful feeling of anxiety. The problem, the more you seek reassurance, the more your brain relies on it. People might repeatedly confess minor mistakes from years ago, hoping to be told it's okay. They aren't trying to be annoying. They're in genuine distress, caught in a loop where the only relief is an answer that never sticks. The brain is desperately trying to get certainty in an uncertain world. But the quest for 100% certainty is impossible. Number 2, the choice paralytic. You spend 45 minutes scrolling through Netflix, watching nothing. You stand in the cereal aisle so long that security gives you weird looks. The waiter asks what you want. Simple question. But your brain starts running every possible disaster scenario. What if the pasta is cold? What if I pick wrong and everyone judges me? Ordering lunch just became a life or death situation in your head. This is decision paralysis. People with it aren't just being picky. Their brain is stuck trying to avoid the wrong choice, waiting for a perfect certainty that never arrives. So they freeze for hours, for days. This bleeds into everything. Career moves get postponed, relationships stay in limbo. Nearly 1 in 5 adults deals with anxiety that can cause this, turning everyday choices into mental torture chambers. If you're paralyzed by choices other people make without thinking, it might be your brain sounding a clear alarm. And number 1, the human slot machine. You quit your job without a backup plan. You book a one-way flight to a country you've never been to. You buy something you absolutely cannot afford. You call it spontaneous. The real name? Impulse control disorder. Your brain's stop button is broken. You feel the impulse and you act on it immediately, with zero thought about the consequences. A normal brain has a little voice that says, wait, what could go wrong? Your brain? That voice is on permanent vacation. This can mean compulsive shopping until you're drowning in debt, binge eating until you're sick, or explosive anger that destroys relationships. This isn't living your best life. It's being trapped in a cycle of action and regret. People make life-altering decisions in seconds and spend years dealing with the fallout. Your brain's fear response is so broken that it stops seeing risk. So there you have it. 5 behaviors that might seem relatable, but are actually signs your brain is struggling. If any of this sounded familiar, listen closely. You are not broken. You are not alone. And this isn't a personality flaw. It's your brain's check engine light coming on, a signal that something deeper needs attention. Acknowledging it is the first and strongest step.